Hello everyone, welcome to today's all-skills race between Spicy and TamiJo. I'm here with my co-com Jamie.
Hello.
Uh, so will be a fun race. Do you want to count down the runners?
Yep, I am doing so as we speak.
Alright, perfect. There is a 40-second delay, so you won't see them actually start for a little moment.
That does give us some time to talk about the runners here. So, Spicy and Tammy, they are. I want to say both of them are relative. They both have pretty close. Sorry. So Spicy has a 53-minute 20 PB, and Tammy has a 1 hour and 4-second PB.
Yeah.
So a pretty wide divide between them, but we have seen some pretty big upsets. Of course,
in a no reset setting, anything can happen.
exactly. There are lots and lots of things that can go wrong, and a lot of things that can go well for the other runner as well. So could definitely still be interesting.
Mm-hmm. And even if there isn't an upset, a race PB would also be incredible to see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they can definitely come out of these settings occasionally. Sometimes no resets are actually what you need. Just forcing yourself to finish runs, because it can be very easy. I also especially find in this category where there's a lot of tricky stuff very early on.
For
That
sure,
it's
yeah.
easy to just say, "I don't like this run, reset,"
Right, but sometimes
and you can
sticking through
save
to the
time.
end, you'll be able to
Yeah.
PB.
Yeah, endgame practice is not only a myth, but also very, very helpful.
Oh, for sure. It's quite interesting because so many runners have a way higher tier early games than mid or late games, just because they reset so many times. Like, I mean, I'm guilty of this myself, but just resetting so much that you get a ton of early game practice, but not much late or mid game.
Well, I mean, personally, I'm in the camp that resets lots early game and still has a terrible early game, so yeah, I'm gonna have to contest that theory, I'm afraid. But
Well, we all know King's Pass is the hardest segment of the run.
yeah, of course. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's the most difficult speedrun there is.
For sure.
King's Pass New Game
Actually,
Plus is based and very
yeah.
difficult.
I mean, real talk, King's Pass is hard to do optimally because you have no movement, and it's such a short segment that every tiny movement counts so much.
Yeah, it's these sort of early sections. It sort of turns up in King's Pass a lot more because King's Pass has a lot of jumps where you want to be right on the edge of platforms, and then buffer a jump at the same time, and it's incredibly precise. But there are a couple other sections in that in VS as well where you can just really start to start gaining and losing time really early.
For sure. Oh, Tammy having a bit of trouble with this Aspid arena. What you want to do is what Spicy did and hit both Aspids with the spike. In patch 1221, the timing is really precise.
Just another reason why current patch is better. Sorry, I won't go on about this the whole
No.
stream.
Current patch is Hell Room.
That's a small price to pay for consistent early game. Is all I'm gonna say.
Debatable. 1221 is the superior patch.
Well, I'm not going to get into this argument. I will simply start talking about Team Sports Room, and you know the weird rails have gone.
We have Fluke Nest OP.
God.
You can't beat that, Jamie.
Let's talk about the runners for a bit.
Yes, good idea.
So Spicy building up a little bit of a lead here coming into False Night. I want to say about 8 seconds ahead, a little bit more. That's mainly due to Aspect Arena really can be just that incredibly influential. That one thing you need to miss, essentially.
For sure.
Because
Especially,
it takes so long to back up, that, yeah, just not getting the double spike is such a massive time loss in and of itself.
For sure, yeah. So Temi looks like they're going for Fury strats.
Ah, yes. I mean, I respect it. As a spellless runner who has on occasion just completely forgotten Fury, that is a mood.
So what the runners are doing is taking a dev-intended skip to just completely bypass the second and third phases of the fight.
Yeah,
Spicy
that fight
misses
is
torch
actually...
game.
Yeah.
Instant time loss.
Ah, this is so sad. That fight is actually, like, very unique in that very, very few categories even bother with False Snipe. It's only,
Yeah.
one XX, and, I want to say the only other category I know of is All Skills Current Patch. There's a different route that I think is actually slower,
Right.
that goes through City, left side City.
So
And
I
that's,
know
like, the
that.
only instances.
I mean, I've recently started learning about the Happy Couple route. That one picks it up as well, but it's
Ah,
not
okay.
on the main leaderboards yet.
Yeah. Yet. Small.
Yet.
Well, one day Spellless will be there too, and then I'll be happy.
Oh no.
So, another one of those. There are a lot of meme categories end up killing False Snipe for whatever reason.
I guess they just require a different routing. Interesting routing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the routing for this category specifically is based around very, very early right side access. Mainly because we want access to Kingdom's Edge, because what we can do is immediately go to inside right side city. You can get 800 geo very, very quickly, and then you can go
Right.
and buy dash slash from Aura. And on this patch, you can hit levers through walls. That's just a fun little quirk of the game. So using dash slash, we can bypass a lot of sections in the game, including the path to Shade Soul, which would normally require a pretty irritating boss fight and also buying Elegant Key. We can completely skip that and just go in the back door and pick up Shade Soul immediately
Yep.
before we even enter Sanctum.
It's interesting to note, Spicy got a first Spitbalder and Temi got a third Spitbalder. Each spit loses, I think, 5 seconds or so.
5?
2 seconds? I don't know.
1.5, I think, is the
1.5. Okay,
generally...
my bad.
5 would be, like, absolutely
Yeah.
cursed for a 50% chance.
Brain, are you in my head right now?
That's a mood. Don't worry
But
about
yeah. So, a cool thing to know, is that the fireball in early game is used for movement as well as damage output, because we don't have dash yet, so to reach ledges that we couldn't reach before, we need to do fireball skips. Tami just attempted the first and, in my opinion, the hardest one. Hopefully we'll
Yeah.
have much cleaner execution of the last two that lose the most time.
The first fireball skip is literally impossible, because I, as a current patch runner, never get to do it. Because you only get to do it if you get perfect RNG. And even then, you have to, like, be really, really quick to even save time.
Right. So there's a really clean fireball skip from Spicy.
Alright. Are we gonna go 3 for 3 on Spicy's side? Oh, unfortunate, getting hit there.
Yeah,
You
sometimes...
can just barely hop over the left side of that if you miss the up slashes.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's
Looks like
quite a tight
Spicy
jump.
got the third fireball skip as well.
Yeah, it's good to see. And Tami getting the second one. Good to see.
Second one loses the most amount of time if you mess it up, because you need to pogo off of a split in order to get up there, and that can take up a lot of time.
I'm actually not 100% sure. I know that missing the third fireball skip if you don't have enough soul for the backup, which Tami will be trying to get. But
It looks like we're having the time sync now.
Yeah. Unless it's just stream issues? Yeah, it could just be stream issues.
Yeah. Alright. Well, while Tami... Oh!
There we go.
Perfect.
Yep,
The
okay,
infamous
we
warp
will never
ability.
know. We will never know what Tami did to get through that room. This is so sad.
Yeah. So, the reason why we get these Moss Knights in current... what am I saying? Current patch. Jamie, you poisoned my brain.
Current patch
The
will
reason
come to
why we
all
get these
eventually.
Moss Knights is because we need a ton of Geo to pick up dash slash. I can't talk today. As you said earlier, Jamie. For the hefty price of 100... What am I saying? Of 800 Geo?
It's alright. Numbers are also major glitches, so we want to stay away from them as much as we can.
Oh, for sure. Well said.
And speaking of numbers, Hornet 1, quite a... It's a very difficult fight if you fall out of rhythm. A little fun tidbit is that Hornet actually takes one less hit to stagger on this patch than on current patch. Which does really make a difference in terms of how often she will jump away from you, and how much you can bully her in a corner. But Spicie getting a pretty nice fight there. I'll pick up Cloak around about 8:13 now.
And Tami entering the fight just as Spicie quits out. So next, Spicie will be heading over to Fungal Waste to pick up Mantis Claw. This ability really opens up the rest of the game in terms of like just general movement. And there are some pretty fun, cool, hard skips to get there optimally. The Explosion Pogo and the Double Dash Mantis Pogo. Nice fight from Tami.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. After a not really nice green path, you really want to have like having a bad green path immediately followed by a bad Hornet fight is just like a recipe for tilt on its own. It's one of the most frustrating feelings.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's quite interesting, honestly, how your gameplay not only affects, like, obviously what time you get, but bad gameplay also can lead you into a cycle of being tilted, and that'll make it harder for you to play well in the future.
Yeah, definitely. It's a pretty difficult sort of feeling to overcome. Is that sort of getting in your own head? I wonder if the races actually I know some races are using sneaky methods to try and see their splits on live split.
Yeah. So if you have, you're able to have 2 live splits open at the same time, and that way you're able to see your splits while also having the correct layout for the race.
Ah, yeah, well, I just have like some scuffed layout thing with OBS, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, it can be a blessing and a curse, honestly, because knowing you're ahead of PB in one of these can be a little bit stressful.
For sure, yeah.
I know I definitely felt that in one of mine, but it's that kind of information can also be a little bit soothing. You know, having some idea, is my pace good or bad? Just to sort of have that. Do I need to play really well?
Yeah. So Spicie got a really clean E-Pogo, but had a little bit of trouble with the Mantis Pogo. No biggie, figures it out. Really good backup setup.
Real talk, that Mantis Pogo, literally impossible. I have never seen... I have never done it. Well, I have done it, but never in a run.
I know that I've done it in runs. Turns out I've never done it in a PB run before, though.
Ah.
Except maybe
so that's
the one
secret.
that I didn't
you just
record,
need,
but I
just need to mess up something in early game, and then the entire rest of the run will go perfectly, right?
Exactly. I actually did find that when I messed up majorly early game, you're less, like, okay, whatever, nothing's gonna come of this run, so you're more relaxed, and that can help you perform better.
Yeah, I think there's also an element of I don't really care about whether I live or die for this run. I'm just gonna go and grind for golds as much as possible. So you're playing on the edge a lot more, and if that doesn't get you killed, then, you're getting golds and you're playing at your best.
For
And over
sure.
time, that will just manifest itself into suddenly becoming ahead again. You're like, wait, what? And then, of course, you die in Abyss Climb, and then you start crying or something. I don't know. Never felt that one before.
Yep. Yeah, so, Spicy now heading over to, beat up Grozmother and pick up Shaman Stone. While TamiJo is a little bit farther behind. Vixen in chat telling us that the runners are now, from the Mantis Claw quit out, are 54 seconds apart. But it's still early game. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, for example, a Hornet 2 death takes about a minute, I want to say, to recover from, depending on, obviously, how far in the fight you were.
Right.
And, that's probably the biggest thing, but there are definitely other places to die as well in this run. I mean, I know I've seen, I think some Sanctum, Sanctum can definitely bully, even when we skip half of it on this patch, like, there are some really, really mean patterns that Soul Twisters can give you, and, if you aren't prepared for them, then they can absolutely bully you into a corner and
For sure.
take away all your health.
What's Spicy doing? It's just...
Yeah.
Oh no,
no.
wait. Oh no, he
Spicy
didn't
went
die!
for the Spicy went for the after death fireball, to pick up extra geo. But
Fired it a
unfortunately did it
little
a
bit
tiny bit
early.
early and killed the enemy before he got hit. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that's the one time you want to die, where if you don't, it's upsetting.
Yeah. There's also there have been some wonderful shade skip chokes from me personally. I mean, I know I've randomly dashed left and then died too far left, and the shade spawns in
Oh
Grasmother's arena.
no.
That's always a fun time, just wondering why did I press that button. But fortunately, we can just sit in the corner here, and Tammy will do that right now.
Doesn't take the risk with the fireball that Spicy did.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that much extra geo. I think, like, optimally you get 3 geo from that. I don't think you often get that. I think you more often get 1 or 2.
I think it's just swag, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
There's...
that being said, every piece of geo in this split can matter.
That's true, yes.
Because after the Gorgeous Husk, we end up basically trying to farm the rest of the geo on our way to Dash Slash. And
Yeah.
essentially the fewer hoppers you have to fireball, the better, more or less.
Well, technically, Spicy did pick it up, going to get the other husk.
Yeah, I
So
suppose.
Spicy still got that extra geo.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you don't want to lose the time for that extra geo, but
Well, yeah, of course.
I'll take it.
So Spicy now going to kill Gorgeous Husk, while Tammy heads into City.
Yeah, so these rows of enemies here, City is a very good place for... Oh, okay. City is a very good place for getting loads and loads of money, nice and quickly, because these big husks drop quite a lot of geo per, and you can kill most of them with a single fireball, which really isn't that big a time investment or soul investment. So, with a couple rows, you can very easily pick up a whole bunch. I'm not actually sure if you're supposed to kill the top row on this patch.
I think you are, yes. You need to kill them. You're supposed to bypass them on your way to Sanctum, but you are supposed to kill them on your way to Gorgeous Husk, because you need that geo to buy Dash Slash.
Ah, I see, yeah. Yeah, and Tami will do that here.
So
Alright.
spicy is sitting at a comfy 722 geo. You don't want to go into Kingdom's Edge with any less than 710.
Yeah, because I think you can
Because
get, like, maybe 96 if you, like, scrounge as much as you can for all the geo dropped, which you really don't want to be spending time doing.
for sure.
Mm.
Part of why we route the geo the way we do is so that we have a little bit extra in case we miss 1 or 2 geo.
Tami having a little bit of trouble with the menuing there. It realized that, it didn't pick up all the geo from Gorgeous Husk because some of it fell into the corridor, so I had to unpause again, walk in, pause again, go for the quit out.
It's better
That's
than
always very
missing the
annoying.
geo altogether, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's very low coming into Kingdom's Edge. This might actually need to be an extra Geo Rock moment.
Oh yeah.
And I suppose this might be a It depends whether Tami knows the backup Geo Rock in this run. Sort of after all the hoppers, there's a and before the first Great Hopper, there's a Geo Rock that can give you 44 Geo if you're really, really desperate, but it takes a lot of time to go get.
There's also an option to kill an Aspid, although they can be frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
Tami
sure that'll be
needs to pick
enough.
up every little bit of geo.
Oh, okay. Right, just barely enough, yeah.
This will be, aside from the times Tami lost picking up that extra geo, it'll also be harder for them to get the geo for King Station. Until we purchase King Station, the geo is still rather tight.
Yeah, definitely. This sort of entire early game segment is incredibly tight because we don't want to spend any time getting extra geo. Like for example, the current patch run picks up Soulmaster's Geo chest reward for 380 geo, but that just doesn't save time on this patch. Just because we have no need for that much geo.
Yeah.
And we can get it so much faster.
Spicy opting not to take the bench, going into Sanctum with 2 health. That is a little bit scary, not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. I think, 20 environment, I'd usually think take that bench, but, then again, I guess you're not really going that direction on 1221, it's a much bigger detour. And also, Spicy with a 53-minute PB. Hopefully fairly comfortable with Sanctum at this point, but anything could happen.
Yeah, there's always the element of RNG, which can be a little bit scary, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. Doing the 2 fireball there. You
Very
can occasionally get
respectable.
a double on that Soul Twister, but it does require waiting up a bit, and waiting is absolutely horrible in a speedrun, so we won't be opting for that.
So Tami does opt to take the bench.
Yeah, I definitely respect that. I think taking the bench, at least on current patch, is a no-brainer because it's like a 4-second detour.
Yeah, no,
On
it's
this
a lot
patch,
bigger here.
yeah, on this patch, I'd still very seriously consider it unless you're like really, really confident that you are not going to die in Sanctum.
For sure,
Because
yeah.
because otherwise it's a long walk back from King Station, and Tami definitely doesn't want to be forced to make that trip while already behind.
If Spicy were to die in Sanctum, that would be a huge opportunity for Tami.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this Soul Warrior requiring 4 Shade Soul hits and 4 Nail Slashes to kill. Only 2 Shade Soul hits so far, unfortunate. Am I incapable of counting? Or was that like 5 Shade? Apparently
I
I
think
can't
the
count.
first one missed. The
Ah,
the soul warrior teleported out of the
that makes
fireball
a lot
just
more
as it hit it.
sense. Counting is literally impossible, sorry.
I mean, you don't have to apologize to me. I know exactly how hard it is.
Alright. So Spicy carrying a 6 soul into this fight. This is what you want to see for the Soul Master quick kill. We'll also get this extra. Yeah, this should be very comfy now. So starting off this fight, you can... So we're going to leave the soul jars at the entrance here. Because we have Shade Soul and Shade Soul goes through walls, we can go and immediately Shade Soul the bottom of Soul Master's body. And that will both hit Soul Master, and it's just barely low enough to hit the soul jars as well. And so we can get all the soul from off screen, like that, and immediately have loads of Shade Soul to double hit Soul Master with.
Coming to be a really clean fight. Already Spicy got 2 doubles. Yep, there's the third.
Yep.
Really clean
Yeah.
fight.
That fight can go incredibly quickly or incredibly slowly, depending on what pattern Soul Master decides to give you.
Yes,
I cannot
you do
speak
not
today.
want dies.
Tami with the based lever strap. You can hit that lever through the wall, again, only on this patch.
It's not optimal, but it worked for Tami, and that's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot nicer movement because you can just focus on dodging the Soul Twister, and that Soul Twister can have a chance to just teleport into the walkway with you, and there's just no way past it other than just damage boost your way through.
Yep. That's why runners hate Sanctum so much. Tami actually hitting soul jars on the way into Soul Master.
Yeah, not sure about that. I think it had enough soul for the quick kill, and I think even if you don't, you still only, like, at most break the most left-hand jar.
Yeah.
Alright. No?
Getting a nice
Okay.
double there.
Spicy scaring me a tiny bit with the with that volley, but managed to make his
Honestly,
way around it.
Getting out of Sanctum is quite difficult in and of itself.
Yeah, definitely. That's also a funny some people have much faster volleys due to having better PCs. Because a lot of things in this game are frame rate dependent for whatever reason. A lot of runners will cap their frame rate to something around 300 or some similar multiple of 50 usually.
Yeah.
And that will make their behavior more consistent. But there are definitely some runners who just don't do that, and you end up seeing volleys moving at like twice the speed of the knight, and you're just like, how are you staying away from them? How are you alive right now?
It can be quite something.
Alright.
Spicy not saving the Sanctum grub. You hate to see it.
I mean, hey, it's time loss, so
Yeah, but you get
You
to
know.
save a grub.
that's fair, but... I mean, I've seen far too many any percent runs that just decide I'm not going to get the grub that is literally free on time. Actually
yes.
optimal because of nail turnaround physics. Smile.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Not well, theoretically yes. If you slash the ceiling and the nail like keeps on going down and hits the grub jar, then yes. But the grub jar itself doesn't give knockback, at least on current patch, I believe.
Right.
It might
There
actually give
actually-
knockback on 1-2-1.
There is... I don't think it does, but there is a grub jar that is optimal to get because it's literally right in your way and going around it is harder.
Yeah, but
So-
technically that one doesn't lose any time, it's just easier, because, and we won't get that one in this run, in Crystal Peak. But I think you can make your way around it before the door opens. It's
You
just
can,
like...
but it makes it a lot harder to get the funny wall cling storage.
Ah, now you're speaking my language, and by my language I mean not at all. Wall cling storage is foreign to me.
So this is actually something that is not on current patch. It's on 1.2.21, where if you jump and dash into a door while it's opening, if you time it correctly, the game will still think that you're wall clinging to the door. Oh
Oh
no!
no.
Tami taking double damage and
Yeah.
dying to that great husk.
Okay. Fortunately, this hard save isn't horrible to come back from, especially with the doors already open. But definitely a pretty nasty death to take. Trying to collect some geo there, on the way to King's Station. It looked like Tami was quite low as well, so no way around
Oh
that.
no, having some trouble with the follies as well.
Yeah.
So, back to the wall cling storage though. If you So you dash into a door that's opening, the game thinks you're still clinging to the wall, and it'll fling you in the direction you're trying to go, and you can dash to go the opposite direction, which results in a really fun glitch.
Yeah, you can. There are some instances of wall-cling storage that we actually ban in No Major Glitches simply because it seems quite minor until like you start equipping Dash Master and then you can go the entire way to Crystal Heart, just ignoring the parkour section. Oh,
Why did that Soul Twister spawn there for Tami?
that's questionable.
I've seen it
That's
happen
not.
before, but I don't know what causes it, and it's definitely not supposed to.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen. Again, probably it's something that got fixed later on. But, that's a very mean glitch to get. Very unfortunate for Tami, already behind, just to get RNG hit for no reason.
Yeah.
It's
So
alright,
Spicy
Spicy will get...
attempting Hog Axe.
I appreciate the dedication,
go.
and there we go! Let's go. You've got to
Sweet
appreciate
Hog
a
Axe.
dedicated individual to the cause of
Yep.
Hog Axe to you. Sorry.
So this split,
slipped out
Crystal
there.
Peaks. Yes, just slipped out. Slip of the tongue.
Yeah. It's alright, he's live now, he won't know. Smile.
Yeah. So, Crystal Peaks, which Spicy's going through now, is incredibly cycle-based. And you need to take the bench in Spire and quit out there. So you have to go through all of C Peaks. And any heals you take is a bunch of time loss. As well as there isn't really any good places to gather soul. So you essentially have 5 hits, 5 health for the entire segment.
Yeah, it's
Which...
a pretty mean... and you actually have even less, because at the end you want to do a damage tank strat to save time exiting D-Dark.
So you essentially have 4 health.
Yeah, it's definitely a very mean section, and can be incredibly reset heavy. Just Crystallized Mound can sometimes absolutely bully you as well. Especially there. Crystal Hunters have a particular predilection to shooting you into a hazard and then shooting your hazard respawn point, which will immediately deal 3 damage to you with absolutely no way to avoid it.
Yep, it's pretty brutal. But really clean C-Picks from Spicy. Really clean damageless cycle for the laser room. And nice underplat as well. Well, Tami is making way into C Peaks. I think Crystal Mound is honestly one of the most brutal places to die in the entire run, because getting back there takes so much time, and you have to go through a dark room again.
Yeah. I think I'd say dying in the dark room itself would be worse, simply because then you have to find your shade in the dark while trying to get through to Crystallized Mounds.
That's true, yeah.
Which would be incredibly cursed.
Getting your shade isn't as big of a deal. Oh no. Oh
Spicy,
no. Spicy, no. That was terrifying.
Okay.
Spicy?
Okay. No comes
Oh,
curse.
that was
Okay.
terrifying. That was absolutely terrifying.
Okay, I was kind of scared that I completely and utterly cursed that for him, but thankfully he made it through.
That moment when he was like right above the spikes.
Yeah, those spike hitboxes are pretty low, but they're still like that was very, very close to hitting a hazard respawn box.
Yeah. The way Spicy recovered that was really impressive though.
Yeah, it kind of shows just how much you have to sort of know these dark rooms.
Yeah.
Right, and then Spicy
No
doing
Pog
this.
Axe to you from
Yeah,
Tammy. You hate to see
right.
it.
So what you see on Spicy's screen is a / momentum storage. So by breaking that crystal with /, it puts us inside the animation to pick up D-Dark, but that transition of / to that pickup doesn't reset your momentum. So you retain all of the momentum from the / and keep it going through the entirety of the D-Dark animation, which then sends you into spikes, which hazard respawns you, which gives you control again, so you can exit mound a little bit earlier, before the D-Dark text has gone away.
Most importantly though, it's visually fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, I must admit.
Mm-hmm. So even though Spicy is at 1 health, there is literally no way for him to take any damage until when he quits out back to Spire Bench.
Yeah. Yeah, after you've exited Crystallized Mound, there's not really anything. You can still, like, fall in Dream Plats or whatever, and that's painful, but none of it will kill you, so
It's a
you
little
have made it
breath of
past
fresh
peak.
air.
Power Patch has a little fun extra section added on where you go to Cyclone Slash on the same health bar, which is pretty funny. Because you
Nice.
can get C- glitched in King's Pass
Oh,
that way, and
really?
that's the
Oh,
worst way to
no.
lose a run. Definitely never
Underplats
happened to
on
me.
both screens.
Yeah, you'd
Tammy
love to see
and
it.
CP Spices in the Dream Realm.
Hmm.
So Tammy now heading over to that dark room. Hopefully it'll have an easier time than Spicy's.
Yeah. Alright. And Spicy quitting out. Back to Spire Bench, which he took, what? How long it was that? Like 4 minutes, 5 minutes ago?
Uh,
You have benches for a fair amount of time in this category. Just
yeah,
chilling.
yeah. After this, there aren't too many run enders.
Yeah, there's Hornet too, but you can always recover. Just it's not so much a race ender; it's more of a PB ender, really.
Yes. So Tammy got the cool walkling storage, but dashed a little bit early into the ceiling and lost it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Going
Yeah.
for the C-dash strat, there are a couple different strats for this dark room. There's easy, medium, hard, I guess. Easy being you only C-dash throughout the room. Medium being you dash most of the time but take 1 or 2 C-dashes. And hard being with only dashes.
Yeah. There are also various like methods of the easy version I've found. There's one particularly that because the top strat with the high C dash can get you shot at on current patch where Crystal Hunters shoot at you at like Mach 10 for whatever reason. Team Cherry just decided they weren't annoying enough. Okay. Tammy going for that spike pogo, just barely missing it. You have to be really, really close to the spikes there to get that pogo, and it's very, very tight. Fortunately, recovering quite nicely.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Spicy finishes up Watcher Knights. This fight is incredibly quick on in all skills because we have Descending Dark plus Shaman Stone, and we're able to literally sit inside the Watcher Knights and spam D-Dark until they die.
Yeah, each cast of D-Dark does 88 damage, and if you hit all of the hitboxes, and each Watch Knight, I believe, has 240 HP, if I'm not mistaken. So, literally 3 D-Darks will kill them, provided they don't give you a bad pattern and roll out of the way.
Yep. And Spicy got really Really good RNG there, so a really clean fight. Now slipping up his first streamer, Lorian. This next segment of the run is honestly one of my favorites. Spicy will be going to pick up Isma's tier, which includes a set of really fun skips, one spike tunnel followed by 2 acid skips, and they're a ton of fun to pull off.
Yeah. Yeah, good to see Tammy missed the mistimed the inventory drop there. And good to see Tammy knew not to go for it after missing it, because that inventory drop off the edge only saves something about like a second. And if you do it later than that, then you're just losing time. So good to see that intuition, that kind of improvisation when you make a mistake is
Oh no,
really good to
missing
see.
the underplat.
Ah well. That's a shame. At least it went for it. And that's what's important, alright?
Yep,
When you really think about it.
it's the thought that counts.
Yeah. The spirit must live on. And unfortunately that underplat you can't try again, so if you miss it once then you'll cry because you cannot actually do it in a run. In the run,
Yep.
sorry.
I think there's one more possible underplat, but it's in Beast Den. No, it's in Distant Village, and it's incredibly cursed.
There's also one in QG for the Hazard Warp.
Oh, really?
That one is incredibly precise.
Oh, that's right.
And very stupid, which is why barely anyone does it.
I think
looks like Spicy
Pisces
missed.
attempted it in his races, but Pisces
I think
is
Pisces
Pisces.
got. Yeah, Pisces got it in one
Yep.
of his races, but he's
He
insane
attempted
like
it
that.
twice and got it in one of them.
Yeah. Spicy going with this lineup for the Isma skips. A lot of people I
I've
see
seen
just
that one
dash.
before.
Yeah, a lot of people just dash off the top platform, and buffering the next dash will put you at the right height. But Spicy just sort of freehanding it.
Yeah.
Okay, set up Ismas. Alright, there you go. So there are 2 variants that last skip, what we call setup Ismas and setup Lus. Setup Ismas, we line ourselves up on the wall to be high enough so that when we do a neutral jump, it just sort of corner corrects us around the corner and we still get our jump instead of bonking.
Yep, it's pretty awesome.
And
Looks
meanwhile, setup Lus uses a trans dash, or whatever the terminology is now.
Dash
I'm
cancel,
gonna call it
I don't know. I just call
dash
it
cancel, dash jump. I'm gonna continue calling it trans dash because
You know what?
I just
Very
like that name.
respectable.
It looks like Tammy's stream is frozen, so
Either that or they're
That's a
out of
shame.
bounds.
I mean, out of bounds the timer would still be running, so
Oh, that's true.
the black screen is ominous though, definitely.
Yeah. I really hope their stream recovers soon.
Mm.
Oh, there we go. Looks like it made it out of Watchers just fine, I think.
Mm. Right. Okay. Yeah, looks good.
Meanwhile, Spicy... Oh no, Spicy's stream now frozen.
That or infinite load, you never. Well, I don't see the
Oh
night
god.
icon, so yeah, I think it's a stream thing,
Ah.
fortunately.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
Oh, and then it's frozen again.
I think
Classic.
they're just trading off right now.
Yeah,
As long as one of them is working.
yeah. As long as we have something.
So,
So,
Spicy now... Yep, you want...
Okay. Spicy now doing this movement to Broken Vessel. There are ways to get through every one of the Morlurks damageless. I don't know. Yeah, Spicy goes for this one, doesn't quite get it. That one's really precise. Doesn't get RNG hit here, and ooh, that's a bad pattern from that Morlurk as well.
Yeah, these Mollarks have a certain amount of RNG, but not near as much as one would think.
Yeah. Essentially their spit patterns are slightly random, but there are semi-consistent ways to get through all of them. I think the only one that that isn't 100% consistent is the one that you sea dash past, the last one that you sea dash past. Sorry.
Yeah,
And
the one that's up in the air.
yeah, that one just has I think 1 in 5 chance to just hit you out of your sea dash for no reason.
Yep.
And that's
It's
just
quite frustrating.
the worst feeling. But now on to Broken Vessel.
Broken Vessel, what you want to look for is doubles with the Shade Soul, and when he does the headbang attack, like that, that's really good, to chain D-Darks, and Broken Vessel will basically just melt.
Yeah. And another one immediately
This
after.
is really good RNG for Spicy.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. Right. So you want Tammy doing the Isma skips. We'll go for the Shade Soul.
Going for the same
Another one
setup
just
as Spicy.
freehanding it. I don't understand that. I find
don't
that
know either.
lineup next to impossible, personally, but
I've never
I
even
guess
attempted it.
these runners are just sort of chilling. They're way better than me, I'll say.
You're a really good runner yourself, though, Jamie.
Whoa. Slander. Yeah. The Pogo Whump strat. You love to see it.
I've never seen that before. Every time
Yeah.
I've done it, it ended up with the worm not hitting me. Oh no! Oh no!
No, Sarah, you cursed.
Like that. That's
Oh.
it's the worst feeling to see
Yeah.
it like right there, but just not.
Yeah. So you want the Whump to hit us there, because getting hit while we're in one of the item pickup animations gives us control again. And we want to do that there just to exit the room while we still have the pickup animation on screen. Just to save. It's a fair amount of time. I think it's like sort of 8 seconds or something like that. It's quite significant.
Yeah, it really is. So Spicy now heading over to Hornet 2, the hardest boss fight in the run. I'm curious to see if he'll opt to take any of the safety benches. All of them lose time, but if you die, they save a ton.
Yeah.
Not taking the King Station bench. Let's see if they take the camp bench.
Yeah. I think you do camp bench in... The King Station bench is a much quicker bench in terms of time loss, but obviously it takes so much longer to get back to Hornet 2 in the event that you do die.
Yeah, that's true.
So it could potentially be worth. And it's like now we have both streams frozen, which is not ideal.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Tammy's...
We got the re-entry into transition. Okay, good.
Yes. Almost forgetting to take that bench. That would be really tragic.
Yeah. Imagine quitting out after Broken Vessel and waking up at Lurien. Could not be
Or
me.
imagine you die to Broken Vessel and don't open the shortcut and wake up at Lorien.
Ah, that would just be the worst feeling.
That would be so painful.
Like you're already losing like 40 seconds to the not opening the shortcut bit.
So Tammy taking the safe way and just de-darking the Malark. Completely safe, you just walk right through it.
Yeah.
Tries to do the second D-Dark, but ends up getting hit.
Alright. Spicy entering Hornet 2. We don't know if he got the safety bench or not, because the stream was frozen.
Oh, that's right.
But,
based off the
can
timing, I want to say not.
Yeah, that would make the most sense, but there could be something with stream delay. You never know.
That's true. Hornet just ate 2 of his fireballs, though.
Yeah.
That attack is the absolute worst, because...
Yeah. Getting a fair few doubles, though? Oh, that parry.
Yeah. Parry's
that's... Every time Spicy rears up a cast, Hornet immediately starts to parry, and eats the majority of the damage.
Yeah, it is... Now he's walled in by spikes as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Gets the fight.
Yeah, I think he knew Hornet was close there, just because you can generally get a pretty good idea of how much health Hornet has just based on how many doubles you've got in the fight.
Not only that, but the music changes slightly. It gets more revved up when she's close to dying. Yeah, it does. It sort of. I don't know music enough to put it into words, but yeah, there
Game
is a
knowledge with
change in the
zero?
music.
What? I'm learning things today, okay. You learn something new every day with this game.
That's how
Alright.
I was able to tell before I got good enough to know my damage outputs.
Ah, yeah. I mean, I still don't know my damage outputs, so, you know.
Honestly, same.
You're on a way to go. Alright. Spicy getting the early control, not invalidating his run. You love to see it. So that early control with dash slash coming out of Kingsbrand, releasing the dash slash gives you control again, but if you do it too early, then you will gain control while invisible, which we do ban as a major glitch in this rule set.
Yeah.
So Spicy doesn't have the UI though, which I think is like
I think it's
optimal.
allowed.
Yeah.
It's totally normal after getting the early control.
Yeah.
You just kind of know how much damage you have. It's very short until you're able to take a bench.
Yeah.
And taking a bench or opening inventory will give you your UI back.
Yeah.
Does that skip exist on current patch?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't charge the dash slash.
You gotta love how Team Terry took out all of our optimizations.
Look, okay, we still have comfy pogo. Like, they decided not to make the spore completely unpogoable. And they made spore shroom overpowered, so, you know, you win some, you lose some, right?
That's fair, yes.
And you love to see a version of the game where, unironically, the safety route for any percent is actually faster than the than what
Wait,
people consider the
it's
hard route.
faster?
More or less. I mean, it to an optimal QG, I think it loses something like 5 seconds, but that requires having an optimal QG versus a really not that well optimized deep nest route. Like, nobody's really put that much time into optimizing that movement, because obviously all the
Really?
top runners who have the ability to optimize all that movement, they're all running any percent 1221.
Right. Because
So we
obviously it's
don't have much.
superior.
Well, historical evidence can skew perspective, in my opinion. But we'll go with that. We'll go with that. It is, after all, the most popular category, though. Any
Yes.
percent 1221. Though any percent current patch not far behind now. I want to say it's like, whereas any percent current patch when I joined, they were like, when I joined the community about a year ago, there was something like 25 runs on the board, compared to like 200 any percent 1221. Now there's 200 any percent current patch runs, and only I want to say like 400 any percent 1221.
Wow.
It's really nice to see how the game has grown in recent time, with the increasing popularity due to stuff like Xbox Game Pass and Silksong.
Yeah. So Tammy having a little bit of a hard time with the Hornet fight. She's eating a lot of its soul.
Yeah. You really
Um,
don't want to see those parries, yeah. Especially when you try and spam D-Dark, and she parries the second one, that's like the worst, because you lose the 2 most damaging hitboxes of D-Dark, and only
oh
get
no,
like the
Tammy at
10
1
damage.
health. Oh no!
Oh,
I hope Tammy
just
took the
mistiming that
bench.
pogo. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So taking that bench is officially was the better choice for Tammy. But yeah, it was going for a lot of the D-Dark strats, which, although not optimal, are safer. Or they can be. But Spicy now going to fight Umu, everyone's favorite boss. There are actually 3 versions of the 1221 cycle now. One was recently found by Valley that allows for a much easier damage output. and much easier movement. But I imagine Spicy will be going for the old strats. They both take just the same amount. I can't English today, but they both take the same amount of time. And it's really which one you go for depends on which one you're more comfortable with. And meanwhile, TamiJo finishing up Hornet fight. Second try. Oh no, Spicy stream freezes. I'm hoping that they get the 1 cycle. I guess we'll know soon? Whenever the stream decides to unpause. But meanwhile, TamiJo picking up Kingsbrand. I guess we'll see if they get the early control or not. It's really killing me though that I don't know if Spicy got the 1 cycle or not. Really nice early control from TamiJo. Does not invalidate the run.
Let's go. You'll have to see it.
Yeah. So I really just want to know. Oh, now both of them are frozen. I just want to know if Spicy got the 1 cycle. At this point.
This is unfortunate.
Oh, got
okay,
the
I have to
dreamer.
assume. Yeah, I have to assume yes with that timing, unless I was gone for longer than I thought.
I'm trying to think. It's possible. Probably got the 1 cycle, but I don't know.
Alright. It's always a little bit unfortunate when stream freezes on these races, because you can lose a lot of information. Did Tami just pogo Avengefly into the water? Is that a thing?
I don't think it's a thing. Spicy taking...
I want to try that now.
So Spicy took the right side climb out of archives. It was actually recently found to be slower because
as
of
with that
the
inventory
cycles.
drop, I think. There has been some recent, very kind of treasonous beliefs within the 1221 community that inventory drops are good. As a current patch runner, I must dispel these immediately. Inventory drops are actually horrible, and you should never do them, not once.
Inventory drops are a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, but it was actually timed that a lot of inventory drops, because they reset your full speed at the beginning, and because of the menu lag on 1221, where it takes a while to close menus, it just turned out that a lot of inventory drops that everyone thought just assumed would be faster were actually like 0.1 or 0.2 seconds slower than just not doing them.
This is true, yeah. But really nice airwalk from Spicy.
Yeah, fun quirk. If you dash over certain seams in the ground and buffer a jump out of said dash, then you will just start walking in midair for a frame, and then that will refresh your dash, and then you can dash twice in midair. It's a really weird quirk, really.
It's a fun glitch, though.
It is pretty fun, I have to admit. And the experimenting with it in Impossible Any% was definitely fun.
Oh yeah. So, Tami just picked up Cyclone Slash. Cyclone Slash, I believe you get it a lot earlier in current patch because you don't have inventory drops, and Cyclone Slash makes you fall faster and can negate the hard fall.
Yeah, it's a very weird sort of ability in that it's supposed to be a mid-air ability, and you can see that when you repress. So the way you're supposed to use Cyclone Slash is by releasing and then repressing a couple times, and that will extend the Cyclone.
Oh, I didn't
and
know
while
that.
you're extending the Cyclone, it sort of hovers you in midair. But for whatever reason, the initial release just makes you immediately accelerate down if you're already falling. And it's used a lot in current patch. It's not used as much here, but you will see a couple. because you do want to, in contrast to inventory drops, cyclone drops allow you to move a little bit while you're falling, and so you can sort of have that sort of fine control, even if the drops do last a little bit shorter.
Yep. And it's also good for those slightly shorter inventory drops that you were talking about that we thought were optimal but are not.
Yeah, sort
Tami
of.
going for the C dash there. It's a little bit scary because every jellyfish you hit is a chance to get hit out of your C dash by a glitch.
Yeah. Yeah, another fun, quirky little glitch that you get to know if you run this game. Anything that has less than 10 health is supposed to die when you C-dash into it and not hit you. But occasionally, that can just not happen and you'll get hit. And it's one of the most depressing feelings. And we call it C-dash glitch just because, I don't know, there's not really anything better to call it. Like, I don't know, hitbox is weird is the only other name I could call it. I'm not very creative when it comes to naming glitches though, so.
I'm not sure what setup Tami is going for.
Yeah, this it looks like it might. Maybe not actually. A little
It
bit
doesn't
high.
look like any of the setups that I know of.
Yeah, it's a lot higher. And looks a lot further away from the wall.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this is a
Yeah.
one cycle setup. It's probably what Tami found is a consistent 2 cycle for it.
Yeah, not having Umir as far out of bounds probably helps for the 2 cycle just because it allows you to get these dream nails a lot earlier.
That's true, yeah.
But I wonder, I've seen people use the current patch. Oh, that's unfortunate. Going on to a 3 cycle here. I've seen people use the current patch strat on 1221, ever so slightly modified.
Yeah, so
I think it was Valley.
Yeah, I was talking about it a bit earlier, how Valley found that new strat, and the damage cycle, the damage output is a lot easier, just because the movement is more straightforward.
Yeah, it's
But
essentially dive and then nail slash 3 times and then just fireball 3 times, and
Yep.
that's the damage cycle.
A lot of runners still use the old one because there's no time difference and it's really a matter of what you're used to.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Spicy now heading through Queen's Gardens. This is the other scary split of the run.
Yeah,
Because
only
you
2
have to
health
go
here.
through...
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
You have to go through all of Queen's Gardens. Oh no. As well as Dark Deep Nest. And any healing loses time. As well as there is a damage tank you need to take. I hope to see Spicy healing up off of the spiky moss creature things.
Yeah. I think you ideally cyclone those, just to get soul as quickly as possible. We want full soul here, because we want to do so it depends on what strat you use, and we'll see what Spicy will go for, in this
Really hope
next room.
Spicy goes for the safe strat.
Yeah, there are 2 strats, one of which uses a dive in this room to, to kill one of the spiders early. And Spice will use that one.
Yep, that's the one Spicy's doing.
This
It's a lot
leaves less
safer.
soul for later, but is a lot safer, yeah, definitely. But its main advantage is leaving soul, for after you get Hera. Because on this patch, the Devout to the left of Hera respawns after you pick Hera up, which can be very, very which usually forces you to go around. But if you have an extra cast of soul, you can actually do a little I think it's a great slash and then dive will kill the
Either
Devout.
that, or you're able to dream nail the Devout and then kill it.
Ah, yeah. Of course, that too.
So, Spicy made it through Dark Deep Nest. Makes it look really easy.
Yeah, those rooms can be a little bit scary if you at all sort of miss your lineup for anything. If you have a lot of sort of any percent runner experience, then it can be a little bit easier, but obviously there is different movement. You are using wings, ideally, just to save a little bit of time in certain places, and that can definitely mess up some movement. But Spicy making it really classy. Look, pretty nice.
Yep, and that is the final Dreamer. Now Spicy has to pick up 2 more abilities, the Abyss Shriek and Shade Cloak. Abyss Shriek is actually the biggest damage output of the entire game, although we pick it up last, and so we're only able to use it against the Hollow Knight, although that does become our biggest damage output.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how the most influential spell in the game is not the one that does the most damage, purely because we can't use it for everything because we have to go to Abyss so late. I wonder if it would be possible actually to just do Hornet 2 earlier and then just do Abyss earlier, but pipe dreams in my mind.
Honestly, at this point the category is so optimized. Oh no, that's an unfortunate screen pause for Tami.
Yeah. Yeah.
I imagine they got up alright and have quit out by now.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
We will see on the other side. There we go.
There we go. So
Always a little bit
now...
scary when you have one of those.
Oh, for sure. Spicy now heading down to the Abyss. This is really the last iffy point of the run. With the sibling climb. The problem with the sibling climb is you need to pogo off of them for movement, and they can do 2 damage. If you mess up your movement at all, you can just fall right into them, and they don't give any soul, so you're kind of just, you can take 2 hits and that's it.
Yeah. There is also the fact that on this patch they do not have fixed spawns, so you can just get kind of unlucky with where they spawn and have to either wait up to get siblings to you or just make a blind jump and then immediately face tank a sibling because it just decided to spawn in your way.
Yep. So we'll see how Spicy handles it. Really clean, really nice sibling climb.
Very classy.
Meanwhile, Tami going into the Squid Arena with 2 health. Little bit scary because there isn't really a good place to heal without losing a ton of time. And it has to go through all of Queen's Gardens.
Yeah. I mean, you can, right after the Squish Arena, just heal, and then you'll get all your soul back at least. But that is still time investment.
Yeah. And it assumes that you left the Squid Arena with soul also.
Ah, yeah, well. Of course, that isn't always a given. You can always kill this squid to the right here if you didn't Shade Soul it. That gives you a little bit, and then this pickup also refills your soul. You can decide. Yeah, you can decide to heal after this. I don't think you want to heal more than once though.
Yeah,
because
you need to keep 2 Shade Souls for the Petra Arena.
Yeah. And ideally you want more as well, just to make the soul management easier later. So you want to farm a little bit on your way down there.
So Spicy now picking up the last ability, Abyss Shriek, while Tami heads into Queen's Gardens. This split is incredibly movement heavy, and for that, I love it a lot.
Yeah, I want to say the second most movement heavy split of the run, second to maybe Great Slash.
Abyss Climb is definitely the most movement heavy.
Yeah, I guess.
You gotta
yeah,
put
but that's only like a little 30-second bit, you know? Like.
Yeah, it's just small, you know.
Or if you're me, more like 60-second, but we won't. Yeah.
Only 60. The problem with Abyss Climb, Oh no, Tami misses the damage warp the first time and is now at 1 health. A little bit scary.
Yeah,
I
it's
wonder
really
if they'll take
unfortunate.
time to heal in the next room. Looks like they are, yeah. So the thing with the Abyss Climb is that with the crazy route that we take to get up, we happen to miss a lot of the hazard respawns. So depending on where you take damage, you could damage respawn really far below where you got hit.
Yeah,
And
I know
that'll lose a ton of time.
for essentially the first 10 to 15 seconds of the climb, if you hit a single spike, you spawn at the bottom, and it's just the most painful thing because you've gone halfway through and you're reset to the beginning.
Yep. That's part of what the challenge is with it.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
But really
Spicy
clean.
only taking a hit to the shadow crawlers, which will not hazard respawn you, fortunately.
Yep.
And moving on into THK. A little bit short on Soul. I usually want to see 5 hits of Soul coming in here, but with a suboptimal Abyss Climb, you already take what you can get.
Pretty much, yeah.
I wonder if you
Oh, that was
bench here or
scary.
use the
Tami,
Soul.
so I imagine the most optimal is to bench in Dirtmouth. But Tami almost missed the platform there, which would have been...
Oh, and a
Oh
spike pit
no.
there. That's unfortunate. And now there's a
Tami...
Weeveling in the way? Okay. Gets
Yeah,
past the
there
Weeveling.
probably is.
Okay, and then around this corner.
1 health and there's another Weaverling in the way.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
this is slightly
That
scary
was
now.
scary.
I hope Tami decides to get the bench here. I think you do
Oh, yeah.
when you're this low on soul and health. You already have to go somewhere else just to get soul. I think you might as well.
Right.
But we'll see what decision Tami makes here.
So Spicy actually opting to bench in the black egg, which is actually a bit slower because you have to pause your C dash and restart it, whereas Dirtmouth you just have 1 C dash.
Okay, Tami opting to just sit at 1 health here. Alright.
Oh, that was scary. That was really
That second
scary.
dive scared me as a current patch runner, because you are not in...
Yeah.
On current patch, you're not invincible when you start a second dive.
Normally you do a
Which...
dive and a fireball, so the fact that Tami did 2 dives
Yeah.
scared me.
Yeah. But Tami will pick up Hera. Meanwhile, Spicy getting a lot of shrieks on THK. That parry is really nice to see. There's a chance when you parry, if you time it incorrectly, your scream will not will trigger the parry, and then you'll get hit. Spicy fortunately getting the timing where you shriek and the whole shriek just hits THK past the parry for whatever reason.
So THK is almost dead now. Yep, there's the scream.
That teleport was just slightly in the wrong position for Spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy predicted the location as well. Unfortunately, it wouldn't have been enough damage, even if the location was correct
And
to
there's the fight.
screen skip.
GG, Spicy.
Yeah, we'll finish it. I think this is like, what, 40 seconds behind? Sorry. Let me actually check that. I think it's a bit more, actually.
About 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit
That's
less,
very
1 minute 10
respectable.
seconds. For a race
Behind
setting?
this PB, yeah.
Yeah, very respectable.
Yeah. Definitely, I've had much worse, and definitely a respectable time. 54, unless that's stream freeze? Yeah, 54:34. Definitely not a bad time at all to be finishing a race on. So in the meantime, Tami now heading on to this last section of Abyss onwards. Right, and hopefully with a we can pray for a good lighthouse climb, and then
Don't jinx it. Don't
from then
curse
on
it.
it should be good.
So yeah, so Tami just needs to pick up Abyss Shriek and Shade Cloak. Looks like they're going for a different setup of Swag Door that I haven't seen before.
Everyone has different setups, don't worry.
Still gets it, that's awesome.
They're all kind of blessed. Tammy not doing the normal drop here.
They probably
doing
don't
this
know the normal drop.
kind of. I think I like that as a backup. I mean, it's not quite as fast as the normal drop, but definitely not as bad as the left side drop that I used to do before I just decided to learn the standard
Yeah,
drop.
it's kind of similar to what I did as well. But obviously the one with that Spicy did with just the 2 inventory drops is the optimal. Spicy really handling. Sorry, what am I saying? Tammy really handling this climb well.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Tammy. That was a very clean climb.
Okay.
Especially since some of those shade positions were in a little bit of scary spots.
Alright. We'll now head on to Shade Cloak. A fun little fact here, we actually do a tiny bit of timer manipulation here, in quitting out when we grab Shade Cloak. Because the timer pauses on loads, and quitting out of the game obviously causes the game to unload and then reload. Quitting out is actually faster on the in-game timer, than just waiting through the Shade Cloak animation. Especially, you can also get early control here by using Dream Now, and Tammy will do that. And that also saves a tiny bit of time. That's just a fun little quirk of the in-game timer, sort of, coming in. Alright, and now...
What is interesting to note, though, you have to actually touch the basin to get Shade Cloak, and because, like, you're on, like, such a rush to quit out, it is possible to just completely miss Shade
There are
Cloak.
also some terrifying moments where... So, normally, some people look at Live Split to see whether they actually got Shade Cloak, whether they quit out at the right time. But there is, if you pause it at just the right moment, on just the right frame, it won't split until after you come back in. And that can be incredibly terrifying. It also kind of ruins what we call ComSob, the Community Sum of Best, which is the kind of amalgamation of all the best times for every segment that the community has done. So obviously having splits happen at different times kind of screws with that.
Yeah. But there's Abyss Shriek. Let's see how Tammy's climb goes. I'm curious to see if it'll take some of the safer strats.
Yeah. I'm gonna focus wholly on this Abyss climb and not look at the left-hand side of the screen at all.
Good plan. Good
I will be very sad.
Oh, I'm not gonna notice whether or not to be sad.
Yeah.
So, Tammy doing a sort of combination of both? Watching this Abyss climb very intensely.
Yeah, this seems to be something similar to what I was doing when I started out, sort of improvising a bit based on what you see from top runners and what you find easier. I appreciate that, really, because that kind of routing does take some effort, yeah, we'll end up with a pretty clean. I mean, yeah, not getting hit means no benching afterwards, and getting loads of extra soul.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that's
that'll
7
be
hits.
really good for the Hollow Knight fight.
Yeah.
Looks like Spicy is bowing to Mila. You love to see it.
Ah. If a betrayal happens now, I will be heartbroken, but if not, I will forever love Spicy.
Yep. But let's focus on Tammy's THK fight, if for no other reason than
again.
epicness. So yeah, Tami will be at a really big advantage going into this fight because of the amount of soul and health.
Yeah. And Spicy doing the honourable thing and taking a hero's death to Mila. You love to see her.
Yep. No helicopter knight from TamiJo though.
Ah, this is so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that animation has a fun little property that if you do an animation that moves you, so if you move across the boundary where the animation starts while in an animation that isn't dash, I think anything else works. I know Fireball definitely does. I'm not sure if C dash does.
C dash does. You get hero
Oh
knight.
yeah. Okay. So then it will just continue that animation for at basically as long as it can. In some cases, it just freezes one frame of the animation. In other cases, it just loops the animation over and over. And that's what we end up calling helicopter night. Is when you continue the cyclone.
Yep. It loses 2 seconds, but it's very worth.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tammy with a pretty good start to THK. Getting lots of nice screams in here. This should be close to self-stab. A couple more queued attacks. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
And so all attacks while THK is stabbing themselves will only do 1 damage. So so most runners use it as an opportunity to heal and gather soul. Tammy using some wise dives as well. Ooh,
1 health though. We need Herm with the counter curse.
Alright. And that will be
Going for the safe
the
stats.
final scream.
And
Oh no!
very optimal. What happens?
No! We will never know. No!
This is quite the suspense. Oh no.
The stream will unfreeze to either another fight
Oh,
or
there we
the
go.
end.
GG.
Okay. GG's to Tammy.
That was
You
a
love to see
little
it.
bit scary, not gonna lie.
Alright. Okay, if you want to
GG.
get the runners into setup, and then we can start the interview.
Yep. Alright, so there were a couple really suspenseful stream freezes there.
Yeah, definitely.
I still
It
want to
sort
know.
of it adds to it, you know.
Mhm.
You gotta have some extra.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like we have both runners. Let's see if we can. And then...
Alright, so whenever the runners are ready, they will join. GG, Spicy.
Thank you,
Alright.
thank you.
Hello.
There we go. Hello. GG's.
Well played, Spicy.
Yes,
Well done.
GG.
And GG's, Tammy.
Yeah.
And we both finished really close to our PBs, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I think you're both within 10 seconds of each other off of your PBs.
Yeah, like you maintain the same pace to your own PBs respectively. I want to say like pretty consistently actually.
Yeah, that's
I-
really impressive for a race setting.
I dropped up and down from like ahead and behind my PB. I was ahead, behind, golded, ahead, behind.
Spicy, I have to ask you, did you get the 1 cycle?
I did get the 1 cycle in though.
Let's
That's
go.
Excellent.
You had
Yeah.
your stream froze just
Oh
as
no.
you started the damage output, so I had no idea.
We also had a very entertaining stream freeze on Tammy's side. Right at the end, 1 HP THK,
Yep.
and we were all just sitting there in suspense.
Just unfroze to the last scream or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfroze to you focusing, and we knew there were 2 ways for that to happen.
Yep.
Not to
Was
work
either
out.
going to be focusing or sitting on a bench.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I want to say a pretty good race from both of you. Tammy, a minute behind PB with I did have to hop out for a bit, but with a death in Sanctum, or exiting Sanctum even, that was
That death
like,
was just brutal. And,
yeah,
like,
trying
kind
to
of
gather
killed my whole
Geo.
run. Like,
Yeah.
not just from the fact that I lost, a minute and 20 seconds from it, but, like, the fact that I was just like, I just don't know what to do now. Like, I mean, I know I didn't set me back, like, I didn't lose Geo, so I had to do a reroute or anything like that. I was just like, I've never had to do this walk before, so I just
Yeah.
don't want to do it now.
Yeah. I'm curious, did either of you have the stream up? Were you watching?
I tried to have the stream up and it froze 2 minutes in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
no.
on my screen, and I couldn't watch.
Excellent.
Yeah, I had some quality issues, I think. Like, I had the stream up and it seemed like my while I was watching the stream, my stream wasn't going out properly, so I cut it off just before Green Path, I think, like during the Vengeful Spirits like cutscene thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was some issues, but that's fine. It happens, and
Yeah.
that's why we local record.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I goaled
Yeah.
my Watcher Knights fight, which I was happy about,
Oh, congrats.
by like nearly 3 seconds. I was amazed at that.
yeah, that was.
I was really happy that my little
pretty clean.
gamble paid off anyway.
I think that was one of the times that froze. We couldn't see it.
Ah, no. It doesn't count.
It still counts
Can't
if it's on
submit it.
live split. It counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Real
know.
quick, just gonna go spam numpad 1 real quick.
Yeah.
Let me get console.
According to my live split, I was a minute and a half behind on my Ancient Basin split, so I think I need to do something about that goal. Stuff
Oh.
definitely wrong there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, unfortunately, I had my Ron all skills splits up. I had my Militia route current splits
Oh no.
instead of my 1 2 2 1
Amazing.
splits.
So is this a
So I
PvP
don't have
Jamie's
any
happy for you for that.
Yeah.
in the show.
Well, the Emilitia route blast, but
Yeah.
the Emilitia route being where you go and sit and enjoy some Emilitia, and definitely nothing else.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the end goal of the run.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely not just all skills, but with right side through, like the most underused shortcut in the entire game. I don't think like any other category uses that other than that specific reroute of current all skills current patch. It's
Which-
so sad that it's
Is
slower.
that the one where in the elevator room?
It's before Isma's skips. So after the spike tunnel, but before the second Isma's skip. You
Yeah.
can go
Happy
up,
Couple
and there's a
might use it,
doorway.
but I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
quite
yeah,
sure
yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Happy Couple might use it. Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm interested in that routing.
Spicy actually currently helping me route it out.
Yeah.
Happy Couple
Alright.
seems like the absolute peak category, to be honest with you.
The
You get to do
route
great
actually is
slash.
looking pretty good.
Yeah.
It's looking kind of fun. Very
Yeah.
excited. I guess just things about my race. My Peaks Dark Room was scary as all hell.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that-
gave me a heart attack.
Yeah, the
Oh my
1
gosh.
HP dashing about a knight's height away from spikes while getting shot at by crystal hunters, and then almost getting RNG'd at the end. Just
Yeah.
That room is
That was
brutal.
It was terrifying.
And then my
a really good recovery though.
and then my Sanctum was just generally awful. Like I had to have lost like 25 seconds in Sanctum. Like,
Your Soul Master though was quite good.
yeah, it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But like the Warrior was just trolling me so
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. It teleported out of your fireball.
like twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was counting, and I ended up, I think, counting 6 Shade Soul hits, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not supposed to be a thing.
Yeah.
Turns out I was just misseeing. My eyes were misleading me.
Yeah.
Alright.
It was not nice to you.
No.
I don't think my Soul Master fight was particularly great. I missed, like, my first Shade Soul was just a complete miss, I think, wasn't it? I just was too low
Yeah,
and just missed, and that just ruined
At
the
least
whole
they
fight.
got the soul jar you left behind. So
Yeah, that was the goal. You see,
Yeah.
you fired the soul into the soul jar.
yeah.
You just get it right
Yeah,
back.
we
easy.
don't want to hit Soul Master. That's overrated. We just want to hit Soul Jars.
Yeah.
This is a pacifist run.
Exactly.
If you destroy enough soul jars, you become Soul Master.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought.
Secret alternate ending. Um,
All right. If we have any,
anyway, yeah.
if we have any final thoughts, Spicy also very honourable, dying to Myla.
Oh
the
yes, of course.
perfect-
Yes,
The-
we very appreciated.
Mm. I was worrying because Tammy was just going into Abyss Climb at that point, and I was like, I'm not going to look at the left-hand side of the screen for a good minute or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Team Mile.
My
Let's
Abyss
go.
climb was all right. I thought so. You
Yeah.
didn't miss
Yeah,
much if you were.
I noticed you did some different strats from what the IL runners use.
For the
That
climb.
they were a little
Yeah.
bit safer, and they got you more soul also.
Like pogoing on the like crawlers on the way up and stuff like going around the outside
Yeah.
of some. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I don't really practice like individual segments. I do like I just practice whole things, so I don't really know of like any other way to do it. But I know that this way I get up pretty safely and I get up reasonably quickly. I think it's like 45 seconds total for the climb, which is like 15 seconds longer than like an IL climb, but like
Yeah.
I think it's close enough for me. And I get I come out with like nearly a full soul. Often I come out with full soul, so I'm pretty happy with it. Like just start with double Abyss Shriek on Hollow Knight, and
Yeah.
you get all that time back straight away.
That's
more or
true.
less.
Yeah.
All right. So if we have anything final from either of the runners,
Just GG's, Tammy.
Yeah, well played. Thank you very much for an enjoyable race.
And thanks to the comms and to chat.
yeah, definitely. All right.
GG, both of you.
All right, and I want to say thank you to chat as well for sticking through and watching all of that unfold through some of the restream issues, unfortunately, but it's nice. The next race in the tournament scheduled is on Wednesday at 9 p.m. EDT. I'm not going to try and say words today. And it's Chomps on the Loose versus ISOG. And that doesn't have a channel yet, but I think if you do the command HKAS in the chat, then you should get a link to the schedule. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, nothing else really to say. Thank you so much to the
Alright.
runners for providing a very entertaining race, and
Thanks, you. Thanks, Sarah. Bye.
GG
Yeah,
runners.
thanks to you for the comms.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.